First at 4, concerns from the Effingham County community continue over that proposed OpenAI data center right in their area.
Now, Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock is taking a stand and is speaking with members of the community. WSCV's Nakaya Harris with the story.
Senator Raphael Warnock says talks about the proposed OpenAI data center here in Effingham County, in fact, hasn't been open at all. He says the people that live here in Effingham County need to be heard, and he's calling for a moratorium. U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock in Coastal Georgia Friday, hearing directly from community members about the proposed data center. He's now calling for a moratorium on the project, but says there are conditions that should be met before it's lifted. Warnock says residents are concerned about utility bills, the environment, and the impact on their community.
And that moratorium can only be lifted for a specific project if, one, there are no water or electric bill increases because of the data center. Folks in this neighborhood shouldn't be paying for this. 2, if there are no NDAs or sweetheart tax giveaways to developers. And 3, there is no air or water pollution from the data center and no ambiguity around noise and light pollution.
Now, the senator says local officials need to take time to build relationships with the community, and he vows to stand alongside the folks here in a region he calls home. Reporting here in Effingham County, Nakaya Harris, WSAV News 3 on your side.
And visitation at the Federal Correctional Institution Jessup has been suspended until further notice. It all comes after the Federal Bureau of Prisons tells us that employees at the facility actually began feeling unwell after possible exposure to an unknown substance. Emergency medical services took some employees to the hospital for further treatment and observation, and we are told that the incident is under investigation.
The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is trying to find a missing man, 33-year-old Wei Hu. He was last seen around 3:30 yesterday afternoon near the Broad River Bridge. There is concern for his safety and well-being. If you see him or you know where he may be, you are asked to call the Sheriff's Office non-emergency line. That number is 843-524-2777. Again, that's 843-524-2777.
Happening right now, WSAV inside Jenkins High School, seeing firsthand the conditions of the classrooms and what's being done to handle their HVAC issues. Comes after Savannah-Chatham County Public School System leaders told WSAV last week that HVAC issues were affecting portions of the second floor wing of the building for several weeks, which caused warmer than normal conditions. District staff says temporary cooling units have now been placed in effective spaces as needed, and a replacement piece has been ordered. 4 classrooms all had work orders in. Now, due to employee concerns, the Savannah-Chatham Public School System having air quality tests done at the facility. Those results expected back next week. And of course, we'll have the details of today's tour later on in the news.
Continuing coverage now, Savannah police are still investigating a murder-suicide that happened yesterday. Police say they arrived at a home in the 600 block of East Anderson Street just before 4 yesterday afternoon. A man was found shot. He later died at the hospital. That shooting suspect barricaded himself inside the home, and this prompted heavy law enforcement response. We're talking SWAT, Savannah Police, and Chatham County Sheriff's Office, all responding to the scene. Now, after getting into that home, officials discovered the suspect had killed himself.
During our investigation and assessment of the situation, we learned that the suspect and the victim, suspect being an adult male also, were known to each other. This wasn't random. They lived in the same residence, making poor decisions, no conflict resolution, no fear of consequences. From what I've told, the shooting occurred outside the home. The suspect was inside the residence. The victim was outside the residence, and he shot outside toward the victim.
The incident also left many living in that area watching and waiting for answers. Here's what a pair of Savannah College of Art and Design students told WSAV.
On the front door, they send a couple drones inside to make sure, or to see who's inside, and then they proceed to launch like tear gas, pepper balls, like a bunch of like rounds into the upstairs and first floor of the house.
Home is supposed to be where you're like safe, and having this happen across the street, like it's a little concerning. Like you just like have to make sure that you double lock the doors at night, I guess.
And we are still waiting to get information on the names of those involved in this situation and eventually losing their lives.
Just last week, we told you about a Lowcountry home went up in flames and reported to be a total loss. Well, the homeowner was able to make it out unscathed thanks to his smoke alarms. WSV's Danielle Ruddy spoke with Bluffton fire officials today about the importance of those smoke alarms in your house and what you need to know.
Fire doesn't wait for you to exit a building, which is why it's important for you to check your smoke alarms regularly.
And if you've got a battery, if you've got a smoke alarm that's older than 10 years, it's worn out. You got to change it out.
The first step in checking your smoke alarm is to check the date to make sure it's not expired. Then the battery, which on some should be changed once a year. And most importantly, it's recommended that at least once a month you check that the alarm sound still works too. Bluffton Township Fire District officials tell me it has been proven to increase your ability to survive a fire by 60%, and data shows that they've saved over 100 lives due to a smoke alarm alerting people inside the building.
As best practice, interconnected alarms are the best. They might also be referred to as wired or hardwired alarms. Essentially, those forms of alarms all connect and communicate with one another. So if you have a fire, or smoke occur on one side of the home, all the alarm units in the home will activate together, and it increases that ability to get out of the home as quickly as possible should something happen.
Fire officials stress you don't wait till emergency strikes to check your smoke alarms. For more information on how you can check it, head to our website, WSAV.com. In Bluffton, I'm Danielle Ruddy, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Years after the city was featured on an NBC special about the loss of jobs, Millen celebrating a groundbreaking of a new business. WSAV's Evan Smoke was there today, and he has more now on what this investment could mean for the region.
Behind me is 240 acres of land available for industrial use here in Jenkins County. Friday, the community welcomed its first tenant. Set, go! That first tenant is Amitri, a subsidiary of the Arimax Group that specializes in materials as well as data services. Company officials said the location near interstates and the Port of Savannah were factors in its decision to build in Jenkins County. For locals, Friday was a rebirth. 15 years later, jobs are on their way back to the region.
Back in 2011, we lost everything. So every job, every industry, everything that we had here, and it was gone within 6 months. We knew we had to do something for our people. So for our community and our people, this is a great opportunity for our jobs and higher paying jobs, which is what we need.
Amitri is expected to open their new facility in the summer of 2027. Reporting in Millen, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
63 years ago today, thousands of people gathered at the National Mall for the historic March on Washington. The landmark moment in the civil rights movement called for jobs and freedom. WSV's Isley Herschel talked with a longtime Savannah resident who was there himself and took part in that march.
Around 250,000 people took to the streets in Washington on this day in 1963. One of those people lives right here in Savannah.
Richard Shinhoster was about to begin his senior year at Savannah State University in 1963. That August, he was in New York when he heard of the march. He and his friends hitchhiked their way to Washington, becoming part of the 250,000 people who packed the National Mall. When Shinhoster heard Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak that day, he took his message back to Savannah, joining their chapter of the NAACP. He tells me being a part of that historic moment changed his life.
I had never seen that many people in my life, especially that many black people in my life, in one place. And there was still this sense of brotherhood and sisterhood and family.
Shinhoster says even today, the events of August 28, 1963 still have an impact on him. In Savannah, Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3, on your side.
And a story now that you will only see on News 3. A Lowcountry lifeguard is being called a hero tonight after going the extra mile to save a man's best friend on the beach. Finn now looks like every other happy pup, but just a week ago he was fighting for his life after getting slashed by a stingray. Luckily, Arsha Mirzai was on duty and the lifeguard rushed into action. He treated Finn as a four-legged patient, going the extra mile to keep the dog, whose stomach had been cut open by the sea creature, alive and well.
So the first thing, the biggest thing was getting the bleeding under control. Once the bleeding was under control, the next move was the bandaging. Since it was right under the belly, it was kind of hard to get something there and get the bandaging going. So I grabbed one of my t-shirts I had in the truck and cut it in half and put the 4x4s and put the hot pack, because hot pack is same kind of, it don't matter if it's a canine or human, hot pack it's the best solution for the pain.
Arsham's quick thinking was able to get the bleeding under control and Fenn over to a surgeon for treatment. Good news today, he's got his stitches out and is doing good. But his parents do say they plan to keep him out of the ocean for a little while. And we will hear from Fenn's owners and hear what they have to say about their new hero. That's coming up on News 3 at 6.
Now, Time Saver